Hello guys, my name is Nanti and today we're doing a solo lane guide for Bellona, the Roman goddess of war. Bellona is one of the more recent SMITE gods to be added. She came out just at the start of Season 2, I believe. I believe she was the first god to be introduced after Season 2. And when she first came in, she was broken as hell. She was crazy strong. She could 1v5, she could solo the fire giant for 10 minutes, she could heal off towers. It was incredible. It was hilarious to play on PTS because you would just destroy people. And then she got nerfed, and she's still OP as hell. But not as broken as she was. Now you can actually kill her. Or survive her, maybe. She's still the strongest warrior. She's one of the stronger gods in the game. She's highly picked in competitive, highly banned. She's banned in League a lot because she's pretty pub stompy. She can carry games pretty hard. She can be played in three roles really. Mostly jungle, I think, is her biggest role. She's really strong jungler, really good warrior jungler. Solo, she's also incredibly strong in, and she's supposed to be played in ADC as a kind of counter hunter. She's similar to Osiris in that she is a kind of anti-hunter god. She does very well at dealing with ADCs late game, even more so than Osiris actually. And I absolutely adore her. She is one of my top 5 favourite gods, I would say. I think she looks cool as heck. She has an awesome re-colour, pink hair. She has an awesome skin, torment. And yeah, I absolutely adore Bellona. I think she's super fun to play. A lot of people don't like her because they still got, PTSD of when she was broken as hell and super scary, and they feel she's just a bit of a cheese god, but I think she's super fun. I think she can be beaten very easily. I think she has a lot of counter matchups, but she's good. She's really good. Okay, so let's start by talking about her abilities and her passive, Master of War. Upon giving or receiving hits from basic attacks, Bellona gains protections and movement speed for 4 seconds. So protections, 4 protections per stack, movement speed plus 3% per stack. So she gains plus 20 protections and plus 15% movement speed. This is a really good passive, one of the better passives in the game. Late game, when you've got super fast attack speed, you pretty much have this up constantly. So you constantly have plus 20 protections, plus 15% movement speed. The movement speed is really good for Bellona because she wants to stick to targets. She wants to auto-attack them down, and just, be in your face without dying. And that's what the protections do. So it's got a basic passive, but it works really well with the kit. And what's worth noting is it's not just when you basic attack, it's when you get hit by basic attacks. So if you're chasing someone down and you can't reach them, and then the enemy's buddy starts tagging you, you'll gain movement speed and you'll be able to chase him, which is pretty funny. Okay, let's go into her first ability. Shield Bash. Bellona dashes forward and bashes with her shield, dealing damage and slowing enemies. Bellona gains 1 stack of block for each enemy god hit. Block absorbs all damage from a single basic attack and reflects a portion of the damage around her. Bellona then makes basic attacks with sword and shield until out of combat, and every 3 successful basic attacks she gains another stack of block. Okay, so the damage on this is unimportant. You don't care about the damage really. Block reflect 30%, slow 30% for 2 seconds. So this is her gap closer. It's a really, really short range dash actually. The cone is kind of... Okay, so it's got like a dash range and then a cone slightly in front of it. So yeah, this is what you use to get near enemies. Start slowing them so you can get in range to start attacking them. It gives you a lot of kill potential in lane. A lot of people just ignore the fact that this allows Bellona to get about like 5 attacks off and just dunk 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 dunk, you know, with a stupid sword sound. Yeah, it's pretty good. You level this up last. You want to level your ult before you start leveling this, because the damage increase is negligible. It's just about it's all about the what it does. It's not about the damage. Okay, let's talk about block stacks. So basically, similar to Athena, she gains block stacks. So if you get hit by an auto, all the damage will be reduced, regardless of how powerful the auto attack is. So if you get hit by a Geb auto, you'll block it. If you get hit by a Shiblanke auto, which is going to crit for 1,000, you'll block it. So that's what makes this so good against ADCs late game, is you can just stand in front of ADCs in this stance, blocking a load of their damage. It also reflects damage back, which is pretty crazy. 30%. So if you get a crit for 1,000, you'll put 300 damage back out. So yeah, it's pretty good, and you gain the block stacks from auto attacking. So as you can see already, if you know nothing about Bellona, she's an auto attack warrior. Yeah, she benefits hugely from attack speed, not just in terms of damage, but in terms of getting, you know, block stacks up, and we'll talk about what her Scourge does later in terms of attack speed. So yeah, let's move on to the next ability. Bludgeon. Bellona summons a hammer and spins, hitting every enemy around her and then smashing forward in an overhand attack. Each enemy got hit in the spin increases the damage of the overhand attack. Bellona now makes basic attacks with her hammer until out of combat. Every hammer attack hits all enemies in melee range. So, what this ability does is it has 2 parts. First you spin, and that's the first damage, which is pretty low, well, very low, and then you have the slam damage, and this changes your targeter to kind of a really short range line ability, and you slam down and you do a ton of damage. This is where you level up first, because it helps you clear the wave. When you're clearing the wave as Bellona, you always want to be in hammer stance, because you cleave, so you hit all the minions in range, so you can clear really quickly. That's what makes her really good at clearing out general camps and clearing out the wave, because you just AoE. Damage just 30% more per enemy got hit. So if you hit 5 gods, that's 30 times 150% damage increase on the bludgeon, which is crazy. I think it allows you to do something like 700 odd damage, maybe like if you had a bit of power, 900 damage. That's insane. It's a really good poke ability when you're in lane, because once you start getting kind of higher up in levels in solo lane, you can just use the bludgeon to hit the enemy god constantly. You're pretty much always going to get that 30% extra damage, because they're going to be in range for the wind-up swing. So 30% more than 300 is, what, 90 damage more? So you're hitting 400 instead of 310. So it hits hard. It hits hard. It's on a low cooldown. Cooldown's 10 seconds. Okay, moving on to a third ability, Scourge. Bellona summons a Scourge, dealing damage to all enemies in a line. Enemies hit are disarmed and cannot make basic attacks. Bellona now makes basic attacks with a Scourge until out of combat, which has extended range +4, and every third attack heals Bellona. When Bellona first came out, this ability was OP as hell because you had to heal her for a huge amount. The healing doesn't do that much now. It gives you a bit of sustain in lane, which is nice. But this is, you pretty much use this ability for the disarm. So it's a long disarm, 3 seconds at max rank. Disarming, late game disarming an enemy hunter for 3 seconds is huge. If they're attacking 2 times a second, they're missing out on 6 basic attacks. You know, it's pretty huge. And your combo is kind of disarm, stay in Scourge, heal up until the ADC's not disarmed anymore, then you switch to shield bash and start blocking their attacks. The damage is kind of okay. It's fairly long range, so it can be used to just, finish off an enemy that's kind of out of range and run into the tower. This is a pretty nice ability. Finally, your ultimate. Eagle's Rally. Bellona plants a Roman flag, granting protections and increased physical power to allied gods. Enemies directly under where the flag is placed take damage and are stunned for 1 second. Okay, so this ability is a leap. It's your CC immune during the leap, and it's got fairly long range. Happens really quickly as well. It's a really fast animation. You've got Roma Invicta, and then you just boom straight in there. It's pretty easy to hit. It has, so there's 2 circles. Okay, there's the big circle, which is where you gain the power and the protections, and then there's the inner circle, which does the damage and stun. So the damage is decent, 500 plus 50% your physical power. It's fine damage, pretty low for an ultimate, but like in terms of what everything else it gives you, it makes sense. Protections for your entire team, it's crazy. Power for your physical gods, and it lasts a fair while, 10 seconds max rank. So this is really good for sieging. If you're on a phoenix and you want to take the phoenix down, you can just jump in, plant the flag, and then the enemy doesn't want to fight you inside. He doesn't want to fight your team inside a Bellona ultimate, because your team's stronger, they're doing more damage, and they can't fight into that, and you can just take the phoenix for free. It's really good initiate ability. If you can hit 2 people with this, and whilst they're stunned, get the old bludgeon out, swing up, hit 2 of them for 60% extra damage, slam it down. You can turn team fights on a dime, I'm telling you. You can just swing a team fight. That's what Bellona does. And then, once you've done that, you're in the enemy's face, you're disarming people, you're in your block stance, you're blocking loads of damage. It's great. Okay, so let's move on to build.